everybody, Dauntless here, and welcome back to The Last Door. Now, my voice may not sound totally right now, and the reason is because I have a cold. It's not too bad, it's just kind of making me feel a little bit like crud right now, but the best part is that I get to demonstrate to you my incredible voice acting skills by voice acting all of the characters in this, only the added feature of all of these characters with a cold. So, let's carry on with episode 3 of season 2. Hiya! Yes, start over, please. Previously on The Last Door. As a necessary step to understanding the mysterious disappearance of Dr. Wakefield's patient, Jeremiah Devitt, the doctor and his colleague, Johann Kaufman. Hey, I'm doing that a lot right now. Kaufman. Visited the manor of Professor Wright. Years before, Wright had been Kaufman's mentor in the occult, but since then had been afflicted with a mental condition and could remember nothing. They discovered that Wright's research had been funded by the Playwright, the secret organization led by Alexander Dupree. While Kaufman lay in bed due to a sudden illness, Wakefield followed the clues left by the eccentric Professor Wright, leading to the darkness of an underground labyrinth. There was something waiting down there, alive but imprisoned in the cave. In the deepest chamber of the tunnel, Wakefield met the dreadful results of Professor Wright's final experiment. That thing with all the arms and stuff in the last game, which had been an attempt to cross the last door using fear as the key. Apparently the last door can mutate you if you try to go through it. Engage! For 3 days you must wait. Alone amongst these dead stones. Only then will you be ready. Ooh, things just got real. There's the eye in there. The eye of to complete your journey, Mr. Ashton. Alright. Now, from what I remember of this one, there's a lot more dialogue and stuff like that. And obviously the last episode was about 2 hours long. And that could just be me wandering around trying to remember how to beat it, how to figure out some of the puzzles, but I think overall these last ones got a lot longer than normal, so hopefully they don't decide to get any longer, because otherwise they're going to have to start splitting them into parts. Excuse me. Ugh. I'm fine. I love that shot. I think I can remember. It's terrible. Screech. But it was not that of an animal. There was something human in it. Human! A desperate cry for forgiveness. It's our noon alarm, and our dog is adding ambiance. We have a noon alarm over here, and when it goes off, My dog decides to, sing along with it. Oh! It broke up the idea of this being an obscene... there we go. Whoa! Back underwater. I'm gonna assume that, you know, I got out of it alive. They found me on the beach, unconscious. Clutching the piece of wood that had saved me from drowning. How about the, cold medicine that saved me from dying? When at last I awoke, the letter was waiting on my table. Hold, please. Okay. Lieber Wakefield, I write this letter in my last moments of lucidity. I have not received word from you since I regained consciousness, but I am confident that you will soon return this information that is crucial to an investigation. The bravery that you demonstrated in the face of the latest discoveries is worthy of my most sincere admiration. I must now ask you for yet more courage. The doctors are unable to determine the cause of my sudden illness, nor has they found a cure. I have not much time left. My greatest regret is that I must abandon you to the difficult tasks that lie ahead. I implore you to persevere, now that you are so close to finding an answer. The professor's documents were filled with references to a place of dark legend, the Cronemeaden, an ancient sanctuary on the island of Elismore. Elismore. The exact location of the Cronemeaden has been lost, but the professor believes that its secrets may explain why his experiments met with such disastrous results. You must find this place, my friend. I do not need to remind you to exercise the uttermost discretion. I have complete trust in you. Oh, Kaufman died! Always your friend, Johann Kaufman. Well, that was one hell of a cold. Nervous. Nothing like a rain to help those dreary thoughts. It was a dark and stormy night. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to be reading this. It was as though my friend had written a letter to a person who no longer existed. He's depressed. Oh. Weeks passed, maybe months. I did not count the time, but the day came when I realized there was no other option. To honor my friend's memory, I had to keep looking. I had to find Jeremiah Devitt. Okay, so originally I was like, why is this psychiatrist going through all of this work to try and find Jeremiah Devitt? I mean, I know it's a patient, but how many psychiatrists do you know would go through all this? But now I guess they kind of added a little more of motivation. I can see the island in the distance. Elismore. Season 2, Episode 3. The Reunion. The Reunion? Does this mean we're gonna finally find Devitt? Let's find out today! And here we are, the island of Elismore. Thank you very much. Elismore. According to Kaufman's letter, the legendary Cronemeaden can be found here. As Kaufman emphasized, I must exercise discretion. For all I know, the playwright is watching. When will you be back? Tomorrow at first light, probably. I'll be delivering supplies in the mail. I will see you then. As you wish, Dr. Wakefield. I'm not sure exactly if this island is anywhere near Europe or Britain or whatever, but I think it looks a little bit like maybe a Spanish, maybe Greek. I'm not sure. Anyway, when I look at more, I think of morir in Spanish, you know, to die or something. The Island of Death, which of course would be, you know, perfect considering this place apparently has a portal to the Vale here. Good evening. Visiting? I hope you enjoy your stay. Yeah, I am visiting and stuff. Good evening, my name is Wakefield. I have just arrived on the island. You ought to speak with Lord Donan, then. I beg your pardon? Lord Donan, you should see him. Good evening. Welcome to Yellis Moor. Excuse me. A visitor. Visitors are most welcome in Yellis Moor. Yes, they are. I'm glad you agree with yourself. Boy, somebody was working their butt off to get over to whatever this is. Went right through the gate. The sign reads, "The Wisdom of Silence." That sounds like the translation of Videtene Kiskiet, the line that the organization always used. I wonder if this entire... See, I haven't played this in a while, so I don't quite remember the twists and turns of this episode. And, like, I played it once, but that was it. I wonder if this entire island is, like, taken over by the playwright. It looks like the gate has been broken for some time now. Oh, okay, so... maybe it just fell apart. The windows are open, and a light is on. An abandoned wheel. A peculiar cog is attached to it. Based on the cog's workmanship, it looks like it was part of a complex industrial mechanism, but someone has tried to fit it crudely onto that broken bicycle wheel. How on earth did it come to be in a village like this? I'll just take that cog. That's all locked up. The door is locked. Okay. Excuse me, are you Mr. Wakefield? I am. I have a message from Lord Donan. Lord Donan? You know, the person that you just heard about? To our most recent visitor, Mr. Wakefield, it is customary in Yellis Moor to welcome strangers with hospitality. I should be honored if you would accept this invitation to join me at my manor for dinner and amiable conversation. Your new friend, Lord Donan. Wow, I make friends really easily. Okay. Let's see. Well, I guess the only other... well, there's stuff here. The faint smell of fish and potatoes is drifting from the shutter. The fish smells slightly rotten. That's a good sign. I'm going to assume everything's locked. Yeah, that is. The gate leads to the village graveyard. It is closed and locked. The door is locked. Yeah, these are very private people, which is exactly why I'm going to start my career of breaking and entering. Alright, Lord Donan. What is this amiable conversation? Ooh, big statue back there. Well, Dr. Wakefield, you are here on holiday then? Yes, indeed. I have come to enjoy a rest somewhere far from the stresses of city life. I see. Well, if it's distractions you've come looking for, you've chosen the right time of year for it. These days we celebrate a very special kind of tradition. A very special tradition of our kin. Something unique. We call it the Festival of Reunion. Fascinating. May I ask, what does it entail? According to tradition, for the next 3 nights, the spirits of reunion leave the confines of the other side and roam the hills of Early's Moor. We wear costumes and masks so that the spirits will not recognize us and make us the targets of their mischief. Certain rites take place too. So it's basically Halloween. But I shall not bore you with the details. You shall have occasion to see for yourself. A large statue of a person. It is so eroded by the passage of time it is difficult to tell any specific detail. There are 2 engraved panels on the wall. They appear to be ancient, but I cannot decipher their meaning. An odd mosaic adorns the floor. It depicts 2 snakes biting each other. An exotic blend of black tea. Do these panels on the wall represent a classical theme? I cannot seem to place it. They are the panels of the first king of Early's Moor. In the days of the Druids, we worshipped the great god Luch. Luch! That's a great god name. It sounds kind of like what I do whenever I have to blow my nose. Luch! And our kings did right by those beliefs. Well, I cannot help noticing this remarkable mosaic. It looks authentic. Yes, it is. Although some historians might disagree, we believe that this manor was built atop an ancient Roman villa. In our traditions, the double serpent represents a sentinel that protects us from the terrible threat hidden within itself. That's weird. That statue is remarkable. May I ask what it represents? It is Loch Lamfrada, Gesundheit, a hero and high king of our myths. You seem to be knowledgeable about Early's Moor's folklore. I should very much like to learn about this island's history in more detail. It is true that we here in Early's Moor cleave to the ancient traditions. We haven't lost touch like some of those on the mainland, but I am no expert. If you are really interested, you should talk to Miss Foster. Please forgive my indiscretion, but do you consider yourself a religious man, Dr. Wakefield? No, I do not. You seem so certain. May I ask why? I have not yet found a religion that provides the answers I seek. I see. Let us take a walk by the lake. From there we can see the beauty of the island as we talk, and be the better for it. This thing does come out to 2 hours, it'll also be half an hour of me blowing my nose. The marsh in this valley is for simpletons, a wellspring of frightful tales. The educated among us enjoy the tales as little more than distractions, knowing us safe from those visions. We know these stories to be nothing but superstition. But how can we be so sure that in the dense mist that emanates from the stagnant water, we may not find passages to other worlds? What if the wails that drift from the reeds in the darkness of nights are the songs of those from our worst nightmares? Many of the gods that men worshipped for millennia now lie buried in the common grave of oblivion. Ah, this guy is poetic. In Early's Moor, we keep our traditions alive. Oh, they change just as the times do, but they always keep our essence. These are our roots, Doctor. I'm the Doctor. I must now take my leave, as my presence is required to start the rites of reunion. Feel free to continue your walk on your own. The village can be found just beyond those hills. As I mentioned earlier, you may wish to speak with Miss Foster. She is something of a resident expert on Early's Moor's history. She can often be found working late at the school, the building right across from the quay. It has been a pleasure meeting you. Okay. Farewell, Dr. Wakefield. It has been a pleasure, Lord Donan. Donan. No, they did it wrong. Oh man, it was the wrong way. Normally it's Donan, and that had the accent mark on the O. Interesting. Alright, give me 1 second. Okay, just wanted to make sure my camera hadn't gone out of focus or something. It did that yesterday when I was doing WoW, and it was a little frustrating. An old barrel lies stranded on the seashore. A printed label reads, mineral oil. It is sealed. Mineral oil. Yeah, there's not much here. Except for that barrel. So remember, I am probably going to have to use that barrel later on. This is the only object I can look at. Oh, I can look at the island out there. The water from the marsh is murky and dark. Ooh, our first costumed people. Excuse me. Excuse me? Fine, be that way. Hello, my name is Wakefield. Hi! What are you drawing on the ground? It's a symbol, not a drawing. A symbol? What does that mean? It's the final truth that'll protect us from the marsh dwellers, but we're not allowed to say its name out loud. The marsh dwellers? Who are they? They're scary. My Aunt Kathleen says they were really bad people. You'd never see them, but you'd hear them in the reeds. They try to take you in there with them. That's why we can't come here alone. We always have to take someone with us. I must go now. Goodbye. I will leave you to your insanity. Farewell! A group of jagged rocks. Ooh. A huge hole lies in front of me. An ominous, chilling draft issues from within that sends shivers down my spine, and it makes me very uneasy. To a superstitious mind, it might seem like a passage to another world. Interesting, what's this? This place appears to be the remnants of an ancient temple to some unknown deity, like Cthulhu! Yes, I know they're not going to actually hit on the Cthulhu thing, but, you know. It would be funny. The circle does kind of look like an iris of an eye with, like, the lines coming out where the color would be. So I'm pretty sure this entire island has something to do with people who discovered how to access the veil. Okay. Village. Alright, is anything unlocked? Ooh, the graveyard is open. That's locked. The door is locked. Okay, good. In that case, we'll just go into the graveyard. A small mausoleum. The door is a small slot. I might be able to peer through it. Alright. Inside, a candle provides dim light. I can make out a statue of a hooded man. I can also hear someone whispering. No, I can't die yet, not without knowledge. It is so terribly unthinkable to truly understand the gods. Is it so terribly unthinkable? How can we live only on faith? No, shut up. Knowledge is what I pursue, not faith nor assumptions. No, no man can face death believing there is nothing on the other side. They do say that when even an atheist will start praying when he's about to die. Yes, you are right. Now I understand. The epitaph on the gravestone is written in Gaelic. The shadows cast by the lanterns only make the characters more mysterious. The man hides his face behind a fox mask. He murmurs something in unison with the others. I made a prayer I cannot quite make out. The woman hides her face behind a bowl mask. Nope. Same exact thing. I believe they were burying mirrors in the hole in the ground. What a peculiar tradition. It's a wolf mask. A man, his face hidden behind a wolf mask, stands in the middle. There is something familiar about him. Deer mask. This woman hides her face behind a badger mask. We don't need no stinking badgers. Oh, it opens. I'm just gonna go in here first. A trash bin filled with papers. There's a drawing in one. That looks pleasant. This is my house being burnt down by a dragon. It is a child's drawing. There seems to be a village, a lake, and some sort of creature. I'll get to you, lady, in a moment. I'm just ransacking your classroom. Maybe a Rorschach ink blot test of some sort? A paper with black circles painted on it. A shelf of handmade books with unfamiliar titles. Most of them concern strange rites. Oh, that's a great classroom. We're going to have a library over here, but instead of like textbooks and stuff, it's going to be all full of like pagan rites and stuff. Just in case our kids want to go summon the devil. They'll dance around the burrow they'll sing. It's cold inside is winter, don't get too close, or else they'll pull you in. It doesn't even rhyme. Oh, I can't go and take the thing there. Alright, ma'am. Good evening. To what do I owe the pleasure? I am a busy woman, as you can see. Yeah, I see you just sitting there writing on stuff. My name is Dr. Wakefield. I have come to Early's Moor to rest for a while. Lord Donan said I might find you here. Have you met Lord Donan? It has been so long since I have seen him here in the village. I hope he is well. Siad mille failte, Dr. Wakefield. Yeah, whatever she said. Welcome to Early's Moor. Oh, it's some sort of, like, native greeting. So, you have not seen Lord Donan lately? As far as I know, no one has seen him since. Well, it's been a few weeks. Now that the festival has started, maybe he'll be motivated to join us in the village. Did something happen a few weeks ago? Oh, sure, it was truly terrible. Kieran, his only child, disappeared without a trace. He went off to play in the hills and just vanished. No one has seen him since. Good Lord. And you say he has not been found yet? How is that possible? It's like a tiny island. It's not that big. I mean, you can look at the map. It's like, here's the house, here's the village, here's the hole, and there's like, maybe some forest. He's probably in the hole. We all searched the island, but he was nowhere to be found. What can you tell me about Kieran's disappearance? Just that he was a restless child who loved exploring deserted areas. You might learn more from his classmates. His desk was in the back corner. What can you tell me about this curious festival? Well, it takes place when the constellation reunion is visible in the sky. On those nights, dark things and spirits ride the winds that travel across the hills. As you may have already seen, at sunset the villagers don masks. They do this so that the spirits will not know them or carry them away to the depths of their underground caves. You guys might want to just switch islands. There was a group of masked people in the graveyard. Was that part of the festival? Yes, that was one of the first rites of the reunion. A very important one. As I said, people dress up to protect themselves from those that will come. But this is not enough, since the mirrors they have looked into while changing know their identities. They bury them next to the old Firnong. The roots of this tree grow in both worlds at the same time, so they keep the witness mirrors safe. Huh. Lord Donan said you were an expert on the island's folklore. He said that, did he? Well, I wouldn't call myself an expert now, but I've lived here in Early's Moor longer than most, and I've heard my fair share of stories about the other side and its people. Might I ask you a question, Miss Foster? Yes, of course. Do you know the meaning of the word Cronemeaden?
Yes, it's a very unusual word, very much indeed. The Cronemeaden is the sanctuary of the Crooked One. It is a cursed place, the dwelling of the devil. I recall it from the tales that I heard as a child. Of course, our elders only made up those tales to scare us and protect us from harm.
Would you tell me the story of the Cronemeaden?
All right. There is a hole in the ground up in the hills.
One second.
Not too far from the village. A hole so dark and deep you'd not see the end. Folks around here believe there lies an old serpent at its depths, ravenous for flesh, the Crooked One. Long ago our ancestors threw livestock into the pit in the hope of placating the Crooked One's hunger, though that tradition has not been practiced for some time. So perhaps it would be best if you did not approach the hole. It is said that the last heir of the Laidsand once defied the Crooked One by approaching the rim with an iron amulet in her hand. It is general knowledge that beings from the other side detest iron.
It's general knowledge? I didn't know that. And I've read almost every Lovecraft book known to man.
So the cursing and the shouting of the young Laidsand received no immediate answer.
Yeah, I'm just... Like, I've never even heard that. They don't like iron. Like, I've heard silver killing some monsters and, you know, crucifixes and crosses and stuff tend to ward off some of them, but I've never heard anything about iron. But okay.
But a few weeks later, the Laidsand house was consumed in a horrific blaze, putting an end to the old family.
Oh, like in the picture here. I must leave now. It has been a pleasure.
The pleasure was mine. Enjoy your time on Elismore.
There is some kind of worm screw inside, the remains of an insect beside it, and some drawings engraved on the desk. I will take the drive with me. It may prove itself useful. I think this is... Yep, that's the other side of this. So let's head out this way. Can't do that. Okay. Are you guys done burying stuff? Nope. Alright, I'll just keep walking then. An empty doghouse. Nothing has slept here in many years. An old rowboat filled with stale water. Something sticking out of the water. Well, take it. A worn-out umbrella. It doesn't look like it will rain anytime soon, but there might be a purpose for it. You are definitely getting the adventure game mentality there, dude. Let's grab everything we can, because you never know when it might suddenly become useful. Oh, the villages are gone. Oh, that's a good sign. Hey, is my boat here? I'm gonna bolt before they start sacrificing people. A bottle is floating in the water. It is caught in the seaweed, just out of reach. I think there's something inside it. Aha! Umbrella. A paper is rolled up inside the bottle. Gods remain silent as the fog settles. We may look for the king beyond the clouds, but the queen with a fiery crown. We'll find the queen with a fiery crown. Interesting. And now I've got a bottle. Okay, so the Cronemeaden has something to do with that, with this hole over here. I wonder if I can... Oh, no. No, you can't do anything there yet. Okay, let's go check the hole in the ground. Maybe I can, see if there's any gigantic monsters waiting to eat me. Is there anything in there that won't eat me alive if I get closer? From inside, you hear a muffled, "Nope!" Not a good sign. Okay. Okay, yeah, I've already seen this. Okay. Well, there's nothing really there. I think what they're trying to imply is that there's something I need to look for when it comes to the villagers. Oh, right. We'll ask these kids about Kieran. Were you Kieran's friend?
He was nice, but he didn't want to play much. He was mostly for going in the hills by himself.
Was Kieran not afraid of the marsh dwellers?
No, he said he had seen them and that they were not as scary as Aunt says. I think that is why they took him.
You think the marsh dwellers took him?
Yes, for sure.
Excuse me.
Before he disappeared, he said he found a treasure, a disc with a beautiful drawing. He took it from the old house in the hills. Maybe the marsh dwellers wanted it.
I must go now. Goodbye.
Farewell.
Excuse me. Well, that is one quiet kid. I don't think I've been back to the manor recently. Oh, there's a whole thing I can look at here. This seems to be Athena, goddess of wisdom, war, and the arts. She is dressed in armor, seeming ready for war. So I wonder, am I in Greece here? Because I don't know if I can ever figure out a Greek accent. I haven't really had much experience listening to any Grecian natives. The statue appears to be very old. Its appearance suggests that it could date back to ancient Rome. Oh, so it's could be just his collection. The color on this is different than the color down here. I wonder if that means something. The door is locked. The manor appears to be dark and empty. It is a safety bicycle. I do not understand how they managed to keep balance with such small wheels. It looks quite new, but its chain is broken. I may find a way to fix this chain. The noise of the swing gently being moved by the wind is the only thing breaking the silence. The mill wheel, something is preventing it from spinning. A strange mechanism runs from the mill wheel shaft into the building. It seems to be lacking a small piece. It seems the mechanism is working properly now. I don't know why I'm fixing this thing, but now the water wheel is working properly. Kiernan's playroom is written on the door in hand-painted letters. The door is locked. Okay, so this... So her playroom has an entire water cogwheel outside. Interesting. Well, I got it working. I'm not sure why, but I did. Let's see what the natives are up to. Well, nothing that way. Graveyard. They're all in the graveyard, probably. Yeah, they're all here. They're just kind of just standing around. I guess I'm not quite sure what they think I'm going to be doing right now. Maybe I can ask her about something? Nope. Yes, yes, yes. Small talk banter. Let's go. Let's see. I've got a chain, I've got a cog. I've gotten what I needed there. I've got the drawing. Maybe if I show the drawing to... Oh, let's try showing the drawing to the teacher. Aha! I found this picture. Was it made by one of your students?
Yes, this was painted by poor Kieran.
What would you say it represents?
Things that were familiar to him, the village, his home, but these other shapes I do not know. You could ask one of his classmates. They should be able to tell you more about it.
Okay. It's good to know that you trust your classmates. Actually, I have to admit, I am a little bit impressed by that she's regularly asking me to go talk to the classmates instead of her. I found this drawing at the school. Is it yours?
That? No, Kieran painted it a long time ago.
Sorry. The drawing is Kieran's. There could be a clue here of his whereabouts. What about these buildings?
Don't know. Never seen them before.
What's this?
That's the burrow of the hill. That one up there. But you can't get too close. The crooked one sleeps at the bottom.
What is this?
That's the crooked one.
It's not a snake, it's a dragon.
They say a villager defied it, and the next day her house was burned to the ground. They say it was the crooked one paying him back. That's the house where Kieran found the treasure.
Do you know how to get to it? How to get there?
Sure, it's easy.
And now I can go to the solitary house. There's definitely silence going on there. Alright, let's go check out this solitary house. I'm making progress pretty darn quickly here. Oh, that looks pleasant. I'll make a statue sporting a pair of animal horns. The twigs look fresh. It's the Wicker Man! Not the bees! Not the bees! This must be the house that the child was telling me about. Kieran was here just before his disappearance. Wow. Whatever it was sure did a number on it. A metal trap door. It seems to lead to some sort of basement. And it's unlocked. That's rare. I think this basement must have once housed a library. It looks like it was not burned as badly as the rest of the house. Even so, little here remains intact. The table has been upended. An ornate chest. Its inside touched by the fire. It was probably opened long after the inferno died down. There is a diary inside. Oh, how convenient. It is signed Bridget Ladesand. Several pages towards the end are missing. 7th of August, 1801. 1801? I think this is what, wasn't it 1830s? Words cannot express the gratitude that I feel for Aunt Marie's bequest. May her dear soul rest in peace. This house is just what I needed to still my nerves after the exhausting pace of life in Dublin. 10th of September 1801. I would not have thought to find such a remarkable library hidden away in the basement that includes several magnificent tomes on the most picturesque customs of our land. 23rd of September. I found Aunt Marie's diaries next to an odd iron disc.
but the contents of the diaries were appalling. What could have opened the door that dear old Marie would write such things? The damnable place that she speaks of. I must know if it really exists. I'm resolved to investigate our family's crypt. It would be prudent to wait until dusk before traveling to the Northern Cape, so as not to be seen. And now our episode today will talk about how not to be seen. 20th of September. The Abbey was in such a state of decay that it was nearly impossible to find the mural painting in the dark. Fortunately, a dim light happened to shine through a gap in a wall, illuminating the face of the sentinel. I believe Aunt Marie's iron disc is needed to open the secret passage. 10th of October. Is this the legacy of the Ladesend? I can stand to bear it no longer. Fire will put an end to this blasphemy and cleanse the land of our family's curse. And should the fire prove insufficient, may this testimony serve as warning. Miss Ladesend must have found something abhorrent in her family's crypt. If I could find out what it was, I may learn more about the Cronemeaden. My intuition tells me that I must act tonight, or else it will be too late. Old Abbey. It looks like some sort of makeshift bed. Was Kieran sleeping in this terribly lonely place? This side of the basement seems to have collapsed during the fire. Remains of the books scorched by the fire. Most of the pages are ashy or blackened, so the text is illegible. A common carpenter's brace. A tool like this would be used for drilling holes in wood. It could be used for later. Ah, the barrel. Alright, let's get out of here and carry on. Oh my! The Wicca statue is burning. Who did this? A mailbox. The envelope is very old. It is stamped returned, but there is a letter inside. My dear cousin, I am doing poorly. I would ask that you not call upon me here at Elise Moor, not now nor ever again. Please keep grandmother's ring. I believe that she would have wanted you to have it. Yours faithfully, Bridget. There is something else in the envelope. A ring. An iron ring. Ah! So now I have something of iron, just in case I need to go scare away whatever the creature is inside of the crooked one. Okay, let's go get that. Because I have a bottle and I have the corkscrew, so let's use this to get some mineral water out of that barrel. I may be able to drill a hole in the barrel using this brace. Aha. Now that there is a hole in the barrel, I just have to push the bottle in a bit and manage to fill it with oil. Cool. I have all the oil I need. Alright, let's go check out the Abbey. I'm finding new locations at a pretty staggering rate right now. The Wicca statue stands like a silent god. Its presence makes me uncomfortable, as though I have trespassed on forbidden grounds. You probably have, but you know what? Who cares about forbidden grounds these days? What's gonna happen? Are you gonna get cursed by some horrible thing that's gonna, like, you know, try and kill you later? This must be the old abbey that Bridget Ladesend described in her diary. Could the Cronemeaden be here? Bridget mentioned a dim light, but I see only darkness. The dome appears to be Roman in origin. It is better condition than the other ruins. Very, very peculiar. Like there's nothing else. The lighthouse in the background.
Um, okay. Okay, so I've got this thing right here. I can't do anything with it, and that's the only thing I can use right now. So I think I think I gotta go talk to people and figure out more info. So let's check out the village. Is everybody done standing around in a circle, being all creepy? Only darkness. I cannot hear or see a thing. So whoever was in there is now gone. Oh, everybody's gone. I'd rather not interfere with traditions I do not quite yet understand. I don't know, just pull them up and see what happens. In the middle of the graveyard stands an old alder tree, with the locals call a fearnog. Many lanterns hang from it. I do not know for what purpose. Excuse me, miss. Oh, the old lady's gone. Nothing there. Where did everybody run off to? Has the boat returned yet? I wouldn't mind bolting like a rabbit at this point. Later, everybody! You can all deal with this problem on your own. Okay, let's go check the hills. I have the iron ring, so maybe there's something I can do now. Interesting. This was up on the hill. It is a drawing of some sort of spiked circle. Is it the sun or something else? The child that I spoke with earlier seems to have left his mask here. There's a ribbon hanging from it. Great. Now we gotta go find it. This is the ribbon that was hanging from the mask. Quick, get it before it blows away again! Or I'll just keep following it out this way. That is the ribbon that was snatched by the wind. Oh, and this is gonna help me get to the lighthouse. I can see a lighthouse in the distance. Ah! I'm glad that ribbon was there to help me figure out that there's a lighthouse that I, totally saw beforehand. A red ribbon. I think it was part of the child's mask that was left behind in the hills. Anything here I can look at? It may have provided the light that Bridget spoke of in her diary. The lamp is off. I wonder if it has been abandoned. Alright. Let's go check out that hole in the ground. Just in case. That's where everybody decided to yammer off to. Nope, nobody here. Nope. That would have been funny. Okay, so there's nothing there. Well, let's go check out the lighthouse. Actually, there was an old Sierra adventure game called Lighthouse. Wait a minute, what was I able to look at there? A broken little fence. Oh, okay, nothing too important. Yeah, and basically what it was is you go to this friend's house and it turns out that that the lighthouse works also as a way of opening a portal into another realm and stuff like that. It was actually pretty cool. There was a little bit of random lever pulling and stuff like that, which was very common for adventure games of its sort. Like Myst and Riven. Myst and Riven were really bad with that. Riven was terrible, like just awful to try and figure out how to solve those puzzles. Push this button, pull that lever, and then do a tap dance, and then, you know, push these 50 items in correct order. I never liked those kind of adventure games. Myst 3, on the other hand, somehow managed to be a lot better, and I beat that one without having to, you know, basically just with the information they gave you, and it was fantastic. What a ghastly custom. The wicker man is in the shape of a hangman. The tree looks like it has been dead for a long time. But yeah, it was just, you know... No one is answering. A strongly built lighthouse. It looks like it is in very good condition, despite the thousands of storms that it must have withstood. There is somebody in there. Someone is inside. Maybe I could make some kind of noise to attract their attention. A wide cup of pipe runs from the tower to the ground. It is covered in salt and seaweed. There's one way of getting somebody's attention. It sounds like it attracted someone's attention downstairs. A drip of water, left unchecked, has ruined the mantle and collected into a small pool. Okay. A few logs and cords of firewood. The ceiling is stained with humidity. The small stove hardly manages to warm in such a spacious room. Good evening. Would you happen to be the lighthouse keeper? My name is Wakefield.
A stranger, and what will he want from me?
I was taking a stroll, and I fear I got lost.
I understand. After sunset, the hills of Elise Moor can be tricky. We have a saying here, in dusk all paths change. If you stand at the apex of the hill over there, past the rocks, you will see the lights of the village.
Why is the lighthouse lamp not lit? Is it not dangerous for the ships?
I do not let it concern you. Many years ago, the sea lanes were altered to avoid this coast. Now it's rare indeed to see a ship in these waters. After the accident, the lighthouse was never repaired.
You say you had an accident. What happened? And were you wearing depends?
I was checking the lenses because the failure looked so very strange and I was worried. All of a sudden the light must have turned on. I was blinded and can see nothing but fleeting shapes ever since.
Was there a failure in the lamp's mechanism?
Precisely that. One stormy afternoon I suddenly heard a strange noise up in the light room. The clockwork mechanism had stopped working and the lamp was off. I had never seen a failure like that. I could not get the lighthouse working again.
Has nobody else tried to fix the lamp since?
No, no one on the island is interested. For them, the more isolated Elise Moor is, the better. They dare not care about ships or accidents, especially Lord Danan. He sees anything coming from the outside of this island as a threat.
I don't know, he was pretty hospitable before. I understand. You mean he was lying? Dun dun dun! An isolated island where people are creepy. It's a sudden plot twist. I tell you, it's a plot twist! Do you know anything about the disappearance of Lord Danan's son?
A tragedy it was, a strange one, but a tragedy nonetheless.
What was so strange about Kieran's disappearance?
I just find it a bit suspicious that it happened so close to the reunion. It's too easy to be keeping secrets during the festival, being how everyone is afraid of leaving the village those nights.
What do you mean?
Look, folks here are too gullible. They'll do anything to protect themselves from their strange fears. They'll not eat corn or drink milk, or they'll dig graves for the mirrors. And of course, they'll avoid standing near a fear-nog too long, because though the fiends cannot touch the tree, they're attracted to the smell of its resin. But surely it's all nonsense. Look, it's really easy to prove it all wrong. Just don't follow the rituals. You're a stranger to our ways, but have you seen any of the things I mentioned?
Well, I did see a group of people in the village burying mares.
Exactly. What do you think would happen if you unburied those mares? That a band of goblins would come out of the marshes to steal them? Nothing but nonsense.
Considering what I've seen so far, I wouldn't be too surprised, actually. What of Kieran's disappearance, then?
Well, I'll admit I'm not sure what happened to the boy. But one thing I'm sure of, this festival reunion is nothing but a farce. And it would be just so easy to prove it.
Worst tradition ever.
Might I go upstairs and see the light room? Even though the lamp is off, I should like to take a view of the surrounding countryside.
Well, I do not think you will see anything, really, but if you're so interested, yes, I guess you may.
Thank you for the pleasant conversation. I must go. Yeah, wonderful. A portrait of a bearded ship's captain, done in oils. The varnish was darkened his features considerably. Okay, I don't think I can take anything, so let's try going on. I should like to visit the light room now, if I may.
Yes, yes, you already have my permission.
The lighthouse's lamp, surrounded by 8 large lenses. It is off. It looks like the lighthouse's electrical lamp battery slot. It looks like the lamp is lit by some sort of electric switch. However, its battery is flat. Perhaps I can find a way to recharge the battery. I have the battery. I must find a way to recharge it. Oh, I just figured that out. I think I have to recharge it at the wheel. The clockwork mechanism that causes the lamp's reflector to spin. However, I think there is something missing. It could do with some oiling as well. There is a little hole in the tank and the oil is leaking. The mechanism will not work properly unless I fix it. Well, let's do some good old maintenance and jam that in there. There we go! Now I can oil the mechanism without worrying about it leaking. Thunk! Yep, that's how you fix stuff. Just take somebody's scarf and just jam it in the hole. That'll keep it all nicely sealed up. The mechanism has been thoroughly oiled, but something is still missing. The cog was the missing piece of the mechanism. It has been replaced and the mechanism has been well oiled. It was easy to wind, and now it is back to life. Okay, so now I just gotta charge the battery. I think it's that water wheel.
It cannot be! I never thought I would hear the rhythm of my beloved lighthouse working again. You don't know how grateful I am. For years I've longed to hear those marvelous sounds. Memories of better times.
But the light is yet to be lit, I'm afraid. Ah, that...
Oh, that battery. Have you got it charged already? I used to have a crank I would use on it every night, but since the loss of my sight, I have lost track of it.
Thank you for the pleasant conversation. I must go. So he had a crank. I'm just gonna assume that I'm gonna look around. I still think it's gonna be that excuse me. I think it's gonna be the giant wheel, because that's the only thing I've fixed and haven't used yet, and I'm starting to run low on inventory items. So there's got to be some way I can work with that. That was at Danon Manor. wheel is too big to help me charge this battery. The mill wheel is too powerful. It would overcharge the battery. Okay, and I can't open this. Darn it. Okay. So either I gotta find the crank, or I have to, Either I gotta find the crank, or I have to figure out how to modify that thing. Oh! The ring fits perfectly on the chain. I am sorry to use Bridget's grandmother's ring in such a manner. Still, maybe now I can get the bicycle to work. Oh, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use the bicycle to charge the battery. The tires are too threadbare. I don't see how I can ride it safely, but at least the chain rotates. What was that? What was that sound? Yeah, exactly. Oh. Okay, so that didn't open. Let's go and charge the thing. Now that the bicycle is fixed, if I attach one of its cogs to the battery's dynamo, I may be able to provide it with a charge. I managed to charge the battery by attaching the dynamo to the bicycle's cog. Perfect! Oh my. The Roman statue lies shattered on the ground. To destroy such an ancient statue, could this really be part of the festival? The Roman statue has been thrown down and replaced with a wicker one. Well, you know, there's no accounting for taste, I suppose. Let's hurry up and get this lighthouse thing figured out. Hopefully the battery has enough charge to keep the lighthouse lit for a few hours. Nice! Oh, nope. Doesn't want to mention that I just got the whole thing up and running. The Wicker Man has been set afire too. Who keeps doing this? Aw, he fell off. The rope gave way, just as I passed. Yeah, I'm gonna call that a coinky-dink. Okay, Old Abbey. The light has revealed a mural painting on the stones, just as it did for Bridget nearly a century ago. According to the diary, the light from the lighthouse revealed the eyes of the sentinel. Right here. A pair of eyes seem to glitter in the dark. Oh, I got it. Okay. Mouth of the sentinel is wide open. Am I supposed to be pushing something here or using... Is there a button? I guess I kind of forgot what I'm looking for. Okay. I'm only more than a little confused. What was I supposed to do? Huh. Yeah, okay. I'm at a loss. Like, I don't have any items. I don't have anything else here. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to that place underneath the ground and see if I can read that stupid diary again. So maybe it'll give me an idea of what I'm looking for. I found it in a solitary house. Okay, Aunt Marie's iron disc is needed to open the secret passage. So I need the disc, but where did that go? Like, I haven't seen any iron discs. What am I missing here? Was there something maybe at one of the houses? Maybe it has to do with one of these, Like, normally, if you can pick something up, they're not doing a hidden object puzzle around here, so... So it's not like they have it hidden in the scenery somewhere. If you miss something, generally there is legitimately something you're missing. Iron disc. Huh. Maybe the one that fell over? Like, why did I get this thing running? To be honest, I'm kind of confused as to why I got this whole thing working, because it's not doing anything. There's no keys or anything like that. I can't mess around with that. Alright, let's check out the village. Okay. Oh, well. Apparently you're supposed to listen to the guy. I'm not so sure about this. What was that? Oh my. There's a guy in a chicken suit! The mirrors are completely shattered. Why would that masked man do this? Well, let's go follow him and find out. Away he goes. He seems to be heading east. Oh, he's gonna open up the door to the mill. Okay, now I can check it out. So yeah, you're supposed to listen to the crazy old lighthouse guy and actually dig those things up. Aha! An ornate lever is built into the wall. Wow! That's some impressive mechanical work. A painted man-sized wooden doll. It represents an old lady. A painted man-sized wooden doll. It represents a king. A doll's theater lamp spinning around. Celestial bodies made out of paper. Wow. Uh-oh. There's somebody in the dark.
Is there somebody hiding there in the dark?
Oh, hi! The stranger's mask is lying on the floor. Something is underneath the mask. An old iron disc. A drawing out of a spiked circle is engraved on it. I can hear something wandering in the dark. I can see a deformed shadow in there, writhing and fidgeting. I cannot get any closer. Nor would I want to. I got what I needed. Let's get out of here. I think it's Kieran. God. Now this statue is burning too. Is someone following me? Alright. Old Abbey. In here, and now I can do this thing with the wall. Nice. The hidden entrance is now open. What was that sound? You know, you ask a lot more in this episode than in any other. What was that? Burning again. It's because they're just a bunch of burning loves. A hunk of burning loves. There we go. Alright, going here. A statue of a Madonna. But something is off. I cannot tell what, though. The symbol looks familiar. A spiked circle. It could be the sun. The tunnel descends deep into the earth. Will I find the lades and crypt at the bottom, or something? Dear God, I am reeling. Kaufman, my friend. Your faith in me was misplaced. I cannot... No, I will. Persevere. Well, that moment of uncertainty is over. Oh, it's that hole in the ground. This is where the twisted one is... crooked one and is supposed to live. A small coffin, half rotted away. This coffin is covered in ashes. This coffin does not look quite as old as the others. This niche is empty. Some old pages lie haphazardly on the coffin lid. It is as though they had been dropped here from the upper hill long ago. They bear faint notes written in a trembling hand. Down in this unholy burrow, in the feared Cronemeaden, our worst nightmares crawl and die. Resting down here are the dauntless, those who dared enter the lair of the snake and the bird. Each of those men and women crossed the path between. They walked through the mist to the other side, where the ultimate truth screams in terror. And then they returned. These are my ancestors. Amongst the dead stones of the Cronemeaden lie the proud Ladesund, reduced to something far worse than dust or ashes. Could that blasphemy in the coffin be Aunt Marie's true legacy? No, I shall not accept this fate for myself. The engraving on the coffin is so badly eroded that the name is barely readable. Marie Ladesund. I am in the Cronemeaden right now. Oh, it's the bird. Or is that the monster, the thing that lit fire to stuff? I think what that is, every time people go through the door, they tend to get mutated very, very badly. Seekers of truth will sacrifice their wisdom. So to open the way to where the Fearnog blooms, your offspring we welcome, its hidden threat. Only the light of your sign will carry its purge. I think I just found the last door. And these are, in fact, members, if not the entirety of the playwright. I think basically the Cronemeaden is something that amplifies everything that allows you to get through the last door. Yep. Oh boy. Stop looking at me! And yes, the circle symbol was the eye, see? Oh, that looks pleasant. It's him! Damn it! Damn it. Oh! The adventure continues in the season finale, and it's actually the series finale at this point. So the next episode is the grand finale to the whole adventure. Ugh. And I will just say right now, it is pretty fantastic. So, basically, this island is owned by the playwright. These people are... I feel like they're guarding to make sure that whatever is on the other side doesn't come back through. And it sounds like there's two creatures. There's the snake and the bird. The bird is like a guardian that watches over and kind of keeps people out of the other side, beyond the veil. Whereas the snake, I guess I'm not quite sure his role. Maybe he's just somebody that helps you travel to it. But yeah, the Cronemeaden is literally that thing on the ground that we walked into, and it's basically the doorway to get to the veil. And it looks like I just walked through it. So thank you everyone for checking out the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I really appreciate the you dropping by and everything, and hopefully I'll get the final episode up nice and quick and I'll start feeling better soon. But until then, I hope you all have a great rest of your day.